Have you ever really looked at your US passport and wondered about its true power? It's not just some boring travel document. It's basically a key that can unlock a whole world of adventure. And yeah, without a bunch of visa headaches. So let's dive in and see just how far this little blue book can actually take you.
Okay, so what's the magic number we're talking about? 180. No, seriously, 180. As a US citizen, that's how many countries and territories you can get into either visa-free or with a visa on arrival. To put that into perspective, the 2025 Henley Passport Index ranks the US passport right up there in the top tier. We're talking the same league as Switzerland and Canada. Just think about that. That's 180 doors just open to you right now. All right, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with your passport superpower. Then we'll look at a whole world of destinations. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, the rules of entry, what these things called ETAs are, and finally, how you can travel like an absolute pro.
Okay, let's kick things off with the basics, which is your passport's superpower. Really, understanding what visa-free access actually means is your first big step to becoming a much, much savvier world traveler. So what does visa-free actually mean? Well, it means you don't have to go through the whole song and dance of applying at an embassy before you leave. But, and this is a big but, it's not a total free pass. When you land, the border officials are still going to have a little checklist. They'll want to see a valid passport, probably proof that you have a ticket to leave, and sometimes they might even ask if you have enough money for your stay.
And the benefits here are they're huge. Not just for you, but for the places you're visiting. For you, it's pretty obvious, right? Way less paperwork, way more spontaneity. You see a great last-minute flight deal, you can actually just book it. And for the countries you visit, it's a massive boost to their tourism, and it helps build these really cool cultural connections. It's a total win-win. All right, enough with the rules for a second. Let's get to the fun part, the inspiration. Let's take a super quick whirlwind tour of the globe and just see a tiny fraction of the amazing places your passport can get you into, no visa required. I mean, think about it. You could be on a Caribbean beach or wandering through historic European streets. Maybe you're looking for a peaceful Pacific Island escape, or you want the buzz of a vibrant Asian city. The variety is just incredible. And that's not even mentioning African adventures or visiting our neighbors right here in the Americas. Let's look at a few cool examples.
First stop, let's head to the Caribbean. The Dominican Republic. I mean, it's a classic for a reason, right? It's a huge favorite for US travelers, and you get this perfect mix of incredible beaches, rich culture, and tons of adventure. You could be snorkeling one day and then exploring the old historic streets of Santo Domingo the next.
Okay, let's jump across the pond to Europe. France, of course, has to be on the list. I mean, seeing the Eiffel Tower, wandering through the Louvre, that's a bucket list dream for so many people. And with visa-free access, that dream is just so much easier to make happen.
All right, want to get a little more exotic? Let's shoot over to the Pacific, Fiji. It is pure paradise. We're talking luxury resorts, these perfect clear lagoons, and some of the best diving in the world. It's an unbelievable escape, and you can go without getting a visa ahead of time.
And over in Asia, you've got South Korea. This place is amazing. It's this dynamic blend of ancient traditions and super futuristic tech. One day, you're at a serene, quiet temple, and the next, you're right in the middle of the crazy K-pop scene in Seoul. It's a country that really bridges the old and the new. Okay, feeling inspired yet? Good. Now, let's pull back a little and get practical again. Because traveling like a pro really means knowing the rules before you even start packing. The most important thing is to understand the specific conditions for where you're going. And this is a super important point. Visa-free does not mean stay forever. The time limits can be really different depending on where you go. For example, in most of Europe, what's called the Schengen Area, you typically get 90 days within a 180-day window. Head to the Caribbean, and it might be anywhere from 30 to 90 days. But then a place like Fiji might let you hang out for up to 4 months. The key takeaway? Always check the specific rule for your destination. So just think of this as your basic entry checklist. Number 1, your passport. That's a given. But number 2, proof of a flight out of the country is almost always a must-have. They want to know you plan on leaving. Then you might need to show you have enough money to support yourself. And more, some countries are asking to see proof of health insurance. Just having these things ready to go makes your arrival so much smoother. You know, international travel is always changing. It's always evolving. And one of the newest things you really need to get a handle on is the rise of these digital pre-authorizations. It's why staying up to date on the rules is so important. So, have you ever heard of an ETA? If you've been to, say, Canada or Australia lately, you probably have. It's becoming a really common requirement for these visa waiver countries, and it's definitely something every US traveler needs to know about. Okay, so what is an ETA? Well, an ETA, or Electronic Travel Authorization, is basically a digital permission slip. It's this quick online pre-screening that you have to fill out before you even get on the plane. Countries like Canada, Australia, and New Zealand use them to add a layer of security and just manage the flow of visitors. It's a fast online process, but you absolutely have to do it. And this right here is the key difference, so please don't get these two mixed up. A visa can be a really complex, long process. You might have to go to an embassy, do an interview, the whole shebang. An ETA, on the other hand, is a simple online form that usually gives you an answer almost instantly. It is not a visa. It's just a pre-authorization that lets you board your flight. Look, rules can and do change. So where do you get the most reliable, up-to-date info? Your first stop should always be the official sources. That means the U.S. Department of State website and the official embassy or consulate website for the country you're visiting. Those are the final word. And for updates when you're on the move, some of the reliable travel apps can be a huge help too. All right, we've covered the what, the where, and the how. Now let's put it all together with a final checklist that'll take you from just being an informed traveler to being a real pro, ready for a smooth, awesome, and respectful adventure. Okay, 3 last pro tips for you. First, customs. Do a quick search on what you can and can't bring into a country. It will save you so much hassle at the airport. Second, currency. Let your bank know you're traveling so they don't freak out and freeze your cards, and have a basic idea of the exchange rate. And third, my personal favorite, culture. Just learning how to say hello, please, and thank you in the local language, it goes an incredibly long way. So when you boil it all down, the big takeaway is actually pretty simple. Your passport is so much more than just a little book with your photo in it. It's a key. It's your own personal invitation to go out and explore and learn and connect with 180 different parts of this amazing world. You know, there's that great quote from St. Augustine. The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. Well, having a passport with this much visa-free power, it's like being handed the chance to read so many more pages of that book. So now, with all this knowledge and the key right there in your hand, the only question left is, well, it's the most exciting one. Your next big adventure is out there, just waiting for you to turn the page. So, where are you going to go first?